Hey guys! Hi to whoever is watching this video in EDN 204. Just wanted to do my reading recap video and discuss the topic that I chose to really hone in on and define some facts and some key elements that really make this chapter really important to our class. I was drawn to, just out of the sheer amount of information that it offers, the chapter types of childcare programs, and this is on pages 199 through 206. So some key terms and concepts here are really just the types of childcare that it describes. So they are family childcare, center-based childcare, intergenerational childcare, employer-sponsored care, Department of Defense childcare, before and after school care, and proprietary childcare. That's a tricky word. I always mess it up. But yeah, so all of these terms I'm gonna define within this video, but just as a prerequisite to the information, that's the key terms and concepts to look out for. So, the background of this chapter that I wanted to discuss is just that the information detailing the various types of childcare seen today comes from Chapter 7, Childcare, Meeting the Needs of Children and Families. So, the key points here are really that there are a variety of childcare options for families, birth through kindergarten. The amount of working families, single parent families, and really just multiple different modes of the way a family can work lend the need for childcare and pre-kindergarten programs. So an interesting statistic was that approximately 1/3 of the early childhood population spends 36 hours in one or more form of childcare. Another interesting point I found while doing the review for this chapter is that in any kind of childcare arrangement, they really drove this point home that quality, affordable, and accessible care are the most important aspects to consider when selecting a program for children. Whether or not a parent has a direct relationship with a child in a home and is choosing care, or if a professional is intervening and helping a family select the appropriate care for their child. All three of those elements are very important to consider. Again, affordability, accessibility, and quality. So, let's see. Each kind of childcare arrangement carries with them their own sets of pros and cons. So, there are so many different types of childcare that for each family, they can have pros and cons. In general, they can have pros and cons. The quality of the program. An example that really stuck out to me was kind of the difference between family childcare and center-based childcare. Here we could see pros and cons for both of them. So the definition for family childcare, according to this chapter, is home-based care and education provided by a non-relative outside of the child's home, also known as family care. And then center-based childcare is childcare and education provided in a facility other than a home. So here we can see that some families really may enjoy the home aspect of a childcare arrangement, and that some parents may prefer a facility. So both of these bring their pros and their cons that can align with your own personal choices for your family or the standards that people hold for the way their children are taken care of. So I also said that a center-based childcare may provide rich socialization and educational experiences, but may lack the emotional care of the home environment that a specific child may need. And then, let's see, my last point is that quality childcare lays the foundation for competent individuals who can stand up and advocate for themselves. This was really the key takeaway, and I got this point from actually the little video clip that the chapter provides at the very end. It was a look into a pre-kindergarten classroom in Seattle, and the teacher talked about how important a quality childcare experience can be due to the vulnerable nature of children. They are so valuable, and they just absorb everything, and so the quality and the professionalism and really every single aspect having to do with adults and the environment they provide for children is so important. So before I go to like my most interesting components, I wanted just to go back and define the other types of childcare. I'm speaking kind of generally and not really defining them. So let's see. Intergenerational childcare. This one was really interesting to me and one I haven't heard of before, and it is programs that integrate children and the elderly in early childhood and adult care facility. So here we can see young children and older individuals together in harmony, creating learning environments and safe spaces for both demographics. The Department of Defense childcare is just affordable, high-quality childcare with flexible childcare options to U.S. military families. And then I'm sure all of us have heard of before and after-school care, public schools, center-based programs, community and faith-based agencies and individuals all offer programs that extend the school day with tutoring, special activities, and a safe space. And then proprietary childcare is defined as some childcare centers are run by corporations, businesses, or individual proprietors for the purpose of making profit. These programs often emphasize an educational component. When I read that, it really stuck out to me because the preschool that I've been at since I've been living in Wilmington was just acquired by a proprietary corporation, a big entity called Learning Care Group. They own thousands of for-profit daycares and preschools. Most of them are combined. Most of them offer birth through pre-kindergarten services, but they are for-profit, and the educational component often comes as a secondary goal to the primary goal of being profitable. So, jumping back to my conclusion after reading this chapter is that with a variety of familial structures comes a variety of childcare programs. The need for a large variety of childcare programs. Each of the defined program centers to be a specific need, want, or necessity a family may be facing. So, working in single, disadvantaged, immigrant, or low-income families fuel the need for high-quality care and accessible child care. When families are unable to keep their children in the home for a multitude of reasons that we all know, such as working, just income inequalities in marginalized groups, etc. The need for empowering and enriching childcare preschool is essential to raise competent and eager and just, what's the word I'm looking for? Amazing citizens and human beings. So the most interesting components that I found was that the intergenerational childcare model was so inclusive. I'd never really heard of this before. I think I've heard maybe something similar, but this was really interesting to me, and it was really exciting to see how fulfilling it can not only be for the children involved, but for the older individuals who may be yearning for a connection with children that they no longer have around them. So I really enjoyed reading about that. And then another interesting fact, one that I briefly talked about with the proprietary care, is that the childcare business is a $48 billion service industry. It's important to consider the concept that when vast amounts of money can be made for caring and educating small children, that oftentimes important steps for appropriate developmental activities, stimulation, care and nurture can be stepped over. Those strengtheners, such as highly educated individuals with knowledge and background on early childhood, can be not put as a number one priority. So my exam questions are: 1. Children in a family childcare arrangement are provided education by a family member. True or false? So the answer to this is false. It is false because childcare that is in a family setting and provided by a non-relative is called family childcare. I think the term can get a little confusing when you hear family, that you automatically assume that it's led by a family member. But no, the setting is modeled after a family, but it is indeed provided by a non-relative childcare provider. And then my last exam question is: before and after school programs do all of the following except what? A. Provide academically oriented activities. 2. Ensure a safe space for children. 3. Provide parenting to children. And D. Provide a nutritional snack. And then the one that does not fit in, and all of these are except for one, is C. Provide parenting to children. The goal of before and after school programs is not to provide parenting. It is to provide an educational and safe space for children to be at before and after school. It's extending that school day, but it's not offering parenting services to children. So that's all I have for my reading recap. I hope that it enriched your concepts around different types of childcare. I really enjoyed putting this together. Actually, it was very informative. So yeah, have a great rest of your day.